Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode, we see a bunch of Fans Toys Masterpiece Scale G1 figure prototypes. We're puzzled by the hoops you have to jump through to get an official coronation kit for your new Takara Masterpiece Starscream. And Spike Witwicky will soon get his own figure in the Studio Series 86 line. Today is Wednesday, January 12th, 2022, and this is episode 468 of Transmissions. Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that knows arguing with a clump of peat moss doesn't gain you any friends online. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
Apollo, aka Robo Apollo.
Hi, what's up, everyone?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers.
All right. As always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for continuing to help out the show and help keep this thing going. We don't have any new Donatreons this week, but we do have a big announcement that's been a long time coming, a long time in the works. Jeremy, I'm going to throw this over to you.
All right. Yeah. We mentioned last year, I think, the time in this pandemic world is hard to remember. But yeah, we're looking into doing Patreon fulfilled merch. And finally, we have hit the button and it is live. And the way it's going to work, for everyone that's at $5 and up, after 3 months, you will be getting a sticker that we designed. After 6 months, you'll be getting a mini print of some art that Apollo made for us. And then after 9 months, you'll be getting a mug with that art on it. And then after 12 months, you'll be getting, if it works right, it'll be 3 stickers. If it doesn't work, it'll be 1 sticker that has 3 different designs on it. It's basically our alt mode logo. Like basically it's the Armada / RID 2001 style logo for the main podcast alt mode and Donatreons. They said that if I space it out properly, it'll be cut into 3 pictures, but the documentation wasn't super clear. So it'll be a surprise for everyone. But this, we're looking forward to finally getting this out. We're still talking about trying to come up with something special to kind of make up for not getting it done in the last year. But we'll have news on that once we figure out what we can do. But this will be awesome. You just need to make sure that your address is correct in Patreon. Go to I think it's just go to the help page and ask how you change your address. They have clear instructions. I can't remember exactly where you go, but it should just be completely automatic, and it's worldwide shipping, so it doesn't matter where you are. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting all this stuff out, and everyone getting this art that Apollo did. I think it's really cool. It's Daryl, what comic was it based off of? It's a Marvel.
Yeah, it's I believe it's a Captain America 100. I think
was it, or
I thought it was Avengers.
Avengers.
Mm-hmm. It's an Avengers comic.
Yeah, I think it's about Captain America though.
It's the one where Captain America was.
Yeah.
Found. Basically, they brought him back. Okay, yeah. So it's Transformers in place of the Avengers, and excited to get that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is it. Y'all have questions? Let us know. But I think it should be much, much better than when I was the one having to go to the post office and mail out all the merch. And it doesn't matter when you start. Like everyone that was a Patreon last week when I hit the button, the counter started then. If you join next week, the counter starts when you join. And after 3 months of supporting, you would get the first thing. So it's just, you get it in that order: the sticker, the print, the mug, and then the 3 stickers. And the next year we'll look at changing it up, getting other designs, and figuring out, if we can do different things for different tiers. Like right now, just everyone gets the same same set of things.
So Avengers number 4 was the yeah. So yeah, that's the original Avengers series number 4. It's when Captain America joins the Avengers, because he wasn't originally on it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad that this is finally getting released to the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long. It took me having some time to just sit down and
Yeah.
It's all good.
life is busy right now.
And thanks to Apollo for doing some awesome art for us.
Yeah.
And hope everyone likes it.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. It was really fun to work on this piece. So please leave feedback on it. I'd love to hear what you think of it, everyone.
Cool. All right. Well, that's one of our Patreon perks coming out. We do also have bonus uncut episodes of our live play Transformers RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. Although there will not be a bonus episode this week. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. There will be the regular episode. It will be episode 67, Hefty Sweet Sack. That's the name of the episode. I didn't pick that name. Direct all questions about that name to Mike. That episode will be out next Monday, January 17th. So everyone will get a chance to hear
Mike
that.
to give names for our regular episodes. I can never come up with names. You're good at coming up with names.
Yeah, Mike seems to have a knack for naming stuff. All right, and of course, another perk of being on the Transmissions Donatreon team is that you are automatically entered into our monthly Toy Hacks drawing. So we've got the drawing for December of 2021 that was a little bit delayed because of the holidays, but we're going to do it this week. So everyone will get a chance. Everyone who's already a Donatron will get a chance to win and get that sweet $10 Toy Hacks gift card, or gift code, I should say, and you can use that to buy some cool stickers from Toy Hacks, put on your Transformers. So, Jeremy, is your assistant ready to help us out?
Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, if she can give us a random number between 1 and 85.
Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 85.
Here's a number between 1 and 85. It's 27.
27. That is Brad Bawalski.
Oh, cool. He's local to me. Awesome.
Congratulations, Brad.
Right on. Congrats, Brad.
Well, that out of the way, let's get into the show and talk about some Transformers toys.
All right, and this week I'm going to talk about Fans Toys. You may have heard of them. They're kind of popular. They are a third-party company that have a bit of a following. And this past week, they dropped a lot of information regarding some of their upcoming figures. And I'm just going to quickly go through a bunch of them here and see where we all kind of land on them. Because Fans Toys is a very good company when it comes to releasing information, and when it comes to producing figures. They're just not super quick on, releasing those figures. So when they do actually come out with something, it's really super high quality, and it's usually very popular with the fan base. It's just it's kind of slow out the gate. So we got a lot of information this past week about some upcoming stuff, and let's go through it. So we got a color prototype for their FT26. It's their Masterpiece Scale G1 hoist, and it looks really good. It looks like a G1 hoist, fits in with their Masterpiece Scale. Not a lot of... I'm leaning more towards saying it's a... more of a like a cartoon accuracy. They're kind of leaning towards that as well. They have their own aesthetic, but they do tend to follow where the Masterpiece line goes as well. So, a bit of a cartoon aesthetic going on here, but looks great. The second one is their FT48 Jive. This one is garnering an awful lot of attention because this is their Masterpiece Scale G1 Jazz. And yeah, there's been a couple Masterpiece Scale Jazz figures over the years. And, famously Make Toys produced theirs, forgetting the name of it right now. downbeat, and it's a very good figure. But that was a few years ago, and ever since the release of the prototype images and the CG renders of Jive here, it was people have been really waiting for this one to kind of show up, and we've got some color prototype images of Jive, and it looks really good. So Fans Toys is got a reputation, and they seem to be doing quite well with it here. So the FT48 Jive does seem to have a lot of that cartoon aesthetic. It's got the accessories that all these Jazz figures come with, and has seemed to do one thing that a lot of these Masterpiece Scales Jazz figures have not been able to do, which is kind of shore up the back bumper of the figure. The downbeat figure in alt mode, the back bumper kind of looks like trash. This one here, the Jive figure, it looks really quite good. So it's taken a few years, and a lot of people, a lot of Fans Toys fanboys are going to say this is the best one, and and this is they're probably right, but it's also the newest, and it's it's got benefit of a lot of figures that have come before it doing a lot of other work. But anyway, it does look great, and I'm sure it's going to be extremely popular. Next up on the list is FT49 Phantasm, and it's the Masterpiece Scale G1 Mirage, another one that is going to be extremely popular. I think the one on the top of everyone's list right now is Sphinx from Mastermind Creations, or maybe it's from the subsidiary Ocular Max. But either way, Sphinx, I think, is the kind of the figure that sits on top of the pyramid of Mirage, Masterpiece scaled Mirages, but it's probably going to be unseated here by Phantasm, which is generally the case when it comes to Fans Toys Masterpiece scaled figures. So there does not currently exist an official Masterpiece scaled Mirage, and this one does appear to be exactly what the fandom is looking for. So just looking at the figure, there is a lot of details. The sponsorship for I think it's Satanes. I should ask Charles. Charles, you smoked Satanes quite a bit. Is that how you pronounce it?
It's French. You should know. You're Canadian. You should be able to pronounce it. I don't speak French.
This is France French. This is not Quebec French. But that's a callback.
I do not
from
know
last
how to
week.
pronounce it.
This is a. We don't usually do week to week callbacks, but that's a callback from last week. But this does look like a very good figure. I'm thinking, I personally would like to see a little bit more chrome on him. The G1 Mirage does have chrome for the front and back spoilers, but this is still a color prototype, so there's a good chance that that might change, or there might be another version that they put out. I did mention that a lot of these do look like they are cartoon accurate, so you can't really tell in the cartoon if there's going to be chrome on it. So there may be a different version get released later. The next figure they announced or kind of updated everyone on was their FT52 Masterpiece scaled G1 Outback. And this one, the Outback figure, Outback and Brawn, are two figures that have had a bunch of figures released by different companies over the years, and they all kind of do different things, and nobody's really gotten it quite right. Fans Toys has, this is their attempt at it, and he looks good. He looks real good, and it's going to be one of those things that he's probably going to do very well. Most Fans Toys figures do, and I like the idea that he comes with his gun that he comes with in G1, the only mini bot that comes with a gun, and he also comes with Megatron's fusion cannon, which is interesting. I don't remember an episode where Outback got Megatron's fusion cannon, but I guess he did.
I mean, I don't think that's possible because Outback was only in season 3 and Megatron was not in season 3. So
What?
I don't know how
Spoilers,
how he would have
Charles.
gotten Megatron. Well, I mean, it's okay. Spoilers for a 35-year-old show. Sorry. Yeah, something happened to Megatron in Transformers the movie. If you haven't watched Transformers the movie from 1986, you might want to check that out.
This. Yeah. So there's got to be a story why Outback does come with Megatron's Fusion Canyon. I don't know it. It's not listed here in the story, but I'm sure it will come out. And this thing looks like it's done and ready to go. So I fully expect this thing to come out very soon. And I
think the cannon, actually, Brawn had the fusion cannon at some point.
Oh, so it's just a carryover?
Fire on the Mountain. So the Brawn toy probably comes with it, so they just included it.
I see. Well, that's lame. This is a much lamer reason than I was hoping for. Anyway, I fully expect this thing out soon. I believe the Brawn figure came out very recently, so I think we'll see this guy pretty soon. And lastly, they announced FT57, and this is a gray prototype, so it's still very early on in the planning stages. But this is their Masterpiece Scale G1 pipes. So they are still continuing on with their Minibot line, and they've got a good number of them in this line at this point. But G1 pipes, and I mean, he's a great little figure here. And in Masterpiece Scale, he's not overly small, but they do really differentiate him between them pipes and their Huffer, which just came out during the first week and a bit here of 2022. So, if you've liked their Huffer, I'm sure you're going to like their pipes. But they do look really great side by side, and it's pipes. Pipes really doesn't get as much love as you'd hope for. But, take a look. The alt modes between Huffer and Pipes look very similar, but they transform very differently. So take a look at this gray prototype, and maybe a Pipes will be in your future. But I want to open it up to everybody here. This is 5 figures coming out from Fans Toys, and if you got to pick one, Apollo, which one would you think you'd go with here?
Well, I'm really eyeing Jive. I think he looks really fantastic and very clean of kibble and whatnot. So, and I love his facial expressions. So, and plus Jazz is one of my favorite Autobots. So, I think this looks a lot better, in my opinion, than the one that came out by was that Make Toys that made that one Downbeat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this looks way better than that. So in my opinion, just because it's a lot cleaner and less stylized. But I'm going to be keeping my eye closely on this one. But I think they all look fantastic. If someone's looking for, like a G1 accurate lineup of these characters, if you've got the budget, go for it.
Mm-hmm. The as somebody who may not have bought as many third-party figures as I have, perhaps I should warn you that Fans Toys figures are exceedingly popular with especially with their own fan group. They there's people who exclusively will buy Fans Toys stuff. You may be, even if you're still on the fence, you may want to throw a pre-order down on it.
Okay.
Just to secure a copy of yours, because if you wait until it kind of comes out, you won't get one.
Okay.
And you definitely won't get one for its release price.
Okay.
So that's just kind of a pro tip on ordering Fans Toys stuff.
Okay.
And the pre-orders will sell out on these things.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, no problem. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on some of these here? I know that, Fans Toys and kind of the third-party market tends to elude you, but you got to be able to appreciate some of these, right?
Yeah, well, it doesn't elude me. It eludes my wallet.
Okay.
But I think these look good. I'm not the biggest fan of Hoist's classic design, so I appreciate what they did there. It's just not for me. I agree with Apollo. The Jive figure looks fantastic. If I were to get one out of all of these, Jive would be the one I get, especially because who knows when we would ever get an official Masterpiece Jazz.
Right.
The others look good. I am wondering, with that, I can't remember who did the Legend Scale Mirage we talked about last week. Was it New Age? Or?
I think it was New Age, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, we had like a million different colors of that one. I'm wondering if we're going to get, over time, like convention exclusives and stuff, the same thing that, we saw with the other Jazz that I'm just horrible with names, but the other Masterpiece Scale Jazz.
Mm-hmm. The Make Toys one? The downbeat?
Yeah, Make Toys one. You get the clear one and, the mid going transparent one, stuff like that. Wonder if we're gonna get those with these, but if we don't get the black and red Phantom one, now that is my favorite design. Kind of like alternate design for Mirage.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
think they all look good.
I can tell you that that Fans Toys as a company is generally pretty selective about which figures that they will recolor and re-release. There have been a selection of Dinobots that have been recolored and re-released as their G2 counterparts. There has been I'm just kind of looking here. They've released their Phoenix, their Jetfire Skyfire figure a couple times, mainly for popularity of its figure, of it being, so hard to get and, quite popular, but they've released it a couple times. They've done some color variations on it, but they really tend to shy away from just kind of repainting and re-releasing everything, which is kind of nice.
I can see with Jazz, you have some, obvious repaints there for different characters.
Sure.
So I could see that, we just got a jackpot in the official line.
Yep.
I could see them doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With pipes and their huffer. I mean, those obviously have other repaints as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one thing that I think they do tend to do more often than not is they will re-release the figure again. Same as it was, the first time around, which is kind of nice.
That's nice too.
Yeah, because there is a strong popularity to their line, which does tend to lend itself to its price point. They have been a company that I have noticed over the course that we've been doing this podcast that their prices have skyrocketed. And, obviously the prices of everything have skyrocketed over the course of 8 years that we've been doing this show, but theirs have been, definitely on a different kind of slope, a much steeper slope going up. And I think it's more to do with the fact that they know that their resale value is much higher. People I've known will buy multiples of the same figure just to be able to resell one later on down the line. They know that it will be worth double, sometimes triple its original value, just because it's Fans Toys and it's worth it. So it's something to keep in mind. But that kind of, I don't know if it's a great business practice, but it is something that is going on, with Fans Toys particularly. Charles, this is, I've been sitting here struggling to find a way to fit you into this, this topic, but, I don't have one. So, I just have to throw it to you dry, and I really hate that. So, what do you think?
Well, you could have called me a jive turkey, and I don't know.
I did Google that because I was like, "Is that racist?" I don't know, so I didn't.
Yeah, it's probably wise. No, I agree with everyone that the Jazz Jive is the best looking out of these five here, and it's a really well done figure. And for if you're looking for a Masterpiece Jazz, it looks really nice. I like the Mirage too, although I wonder why they included two heads with just a tiny change in the head shape, and that's it. I mean, not even a change of expression. It seems kind of weird.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, is that like two different animation models from maybe two different episodes?
It must be.
The head was that different. I mean, it's such a small difference, but anyway. But yeah, the hoist looks a little bit too slim for me. Like I imagine hoist is a little bit stockier. And
hoist
then
got some hips here.
Hips don't lie. Huh?
Yeah.
The Outback looks good, and the Pipes looks good too. So I mean, these are all good looking figures. The Fans toys they're usually quality figures, but I'm not too deep into the third party arena myself, so I probably am not picking these up. But yeah, Jazz is definitely the best looking out of these.
Right on. Cool. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I brought to the show this week. Jeremy, surprise us. What do you got this week?
Business news to start off.
Great.
Well, we know, a month or so ago, unfortunately, Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner passed away. Hasbro's now announced who's going to take his place as the new CEO. It is Chris Cox, who was the president and CEO of Wizards of the Coast and their digital gaming division.
Sorry, who?
Chris Cox.
What? I'm sorry. What's his last name?
I'm not going to fall for it, Daryl. We're going to keep moving. So he has been with Hasbro for quite a while. Obviously, Wizards of the Coast has been a very successful arm of Hasbro. So hopefully, that will bode well for the rest of the company. And we also know that, the digital gaming stuff has been something that they've been kind of gearing up over the last few years. So, we'll see, how that progresses. He will also be chair of the board. And then they've also announced that Eric Nyman is going to be the president and chief operating officer. He was currently he is the chief consumer officer and chief operating officer of Hasbro Consumer Products. So both of these are internal moves. They didn't get someone outside the company. So I imagine the previous trajectory of the company is, they're not. It's not going to be like a radical shift in what they're going to be focusing on. So I think this all bodes well for the company, and both of these changes will take place February 25th. So I'm sure we'll talk about it again then, and Daryl can have lots more fun with his name. In an actual toy to talk about, Takara has released another image of their Masterpiece Trainbot. This is of the Getsui train, and these are the ones that will combine to form the Shioki. I am horribly mispronouncing it.
Raiden.
Sure.
It's Raiden is the combined form, I believe.
Okay, yeah. The team name is that Raiden is the combiner. So this is one of the legs, and he transforms into a EF65-1000 electric locomotive. So it even has like the pieces on the roof that would connect to the electric wires, like you would see like on a train, like a car in San Francisco, like one of the trains that goes down the street. So I think this is really cool looking. The images we have are low res and got Japanese text all over them. But from what I see here, it's a really nice looking train. Like all these have been extremely real life accurate trains. But the robot himself, I think, looks really good. It's the colors on this are, I imagine the paint apps are going to be improved, but right now it's mostly a solid blue. And I don't know. I am a fan of Trainbots, and I think this looks really good. I'm looking forward to seeing the higher res images of this, and then obviously there's the third party Raiden that's also being worked on, so we'll have something cool to compare it to. Daryl, what are your thoughts on the Trainbot?
Well, I'm glad to see a second figure from this line come out. And similarly to the first one, the train alt mode is superb, absolutely superb. And these the train mode from the Takara version is going to be an absolute winner for for anybody who's into trains and anyone who's really wanting to get this set, kind of because they're like a really big fan of trains kind of thing. That seems to be the real high point on this set for me. The alt mode, or sorry, the robot mode, the individual robot modes do seem to take a back seat. Like you said, these are really low res pictures, so you can't tell a lot of the detail, but it does seem to be that the robot modes do tend to suffer in service to their component modes, which is fine. Most people are going to have these things in its riding mode for the most part. They might dink around with them in their their individual robot and alt modes a bit, but then once they get all six, they're going to combine them, and then they're off to the races with riding. The one thing that I was really hoping we'd finally be able to see at this point, because we've gotten two figures out of this line at this point now, and we still have yet to see any kind of direct comparison, not within this line and Moon Studios, which I know will eventually happen, but I just want to see the size of these, Takara Raiden figures.
Right.
Show one of them next to a known quantity, a Siege figure,
another masterpiece figure,
something masterpiece that everyone would kind of have, reference, so that we know how big these are going to be. That's what I'm waiting for, because we know how big the Moon Studios one is going to be. It's going to be absolutely massive, but that seems to be the part where I'm kind of getting stuck. The train modes for the Takara are, like I said, fantastic. The alt modes, the robot modes suffer. The leg mode or the component mode on this one, it looks good. It looks real good. It doesn't show that it has the little gun that sticks on the side of the leg. Perhaps that comes with, some kind of later piece, or it's just not shown, or I don't know. Mm-hmm. But both legs have these giant guns that stick on the side and kind of look like wings. But it doesn't seem to be shown here in the picture. But all in all, it looks good. So I'm just personally waiting to see some kind of size comparison.
Yeah, and I really wish that they wouldn't just do these low quality images to start.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think that they're really expecting the public to kind of dissect them at this point. I don't know where images are coming from, but they really should, there should be some kind of media release when, it does come out.
Right. Apollo, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think everyone knows here I have Shoki pre-ordered, so I really like the train mode on this for the alt mode of the character. I do think it's highly detailed. I agree with the comments said so far that I wish the images were better than what we have, because we have these tiny grainy images with red text over them, and it really detracts from the photos. The robot mode, from what I since seeing this picture, it looks like he has quite a bit of kibble. But I don't know if it's because of how he's posed. It could just be how he's posed, because he looks kind of posed to me a little awkwardly. So, and that can make a huge difference with how an action figure looks with how it's posed or not. But I'm really looking forward to learning more about this and getting higher res images to look at.
Yeah, cool. And Charles, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it does look cool, but I mean, this image is really kind of small, so it's hard to really judge. But I agree with everyone that the train mode and the leg mode seem to look better than the robot mode. At least have have had the care put into them, and the trade off has been the robot mode is maybe a little bit less awesome, I guess. But it's still kind of hard to see all the details in the robot mode here. But I am curious as to the size of these figures, because I wonder if the final Raiden combiner is going to be able to stand on its own. I mean, as big as it's going to be.
I would imagine. I mean, the train bots are big and boxy. There's probably going to be enough stability there in the legs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I just took a look at the Takara Twitter. The account's TF_PR, and just to see it, and there's nothing new about the train bots since October. So hopefully we'll have good images soon, and then we can really dissect it. Paula, what do you have this week?
Well, I have some Starscream news to talk about. No surprise. Anyways, we have an updated look at the Masterpiece MP52 Starscream Coronation Parts campaign, packaging and details. So there are pictures here on TFW's website of the box, which has it looks like it's in black and white. Maybe it'll be in color, but it's got a picture of Starscream with the coronation gear on, and then also the color picture of him donning his coronation gear. To me, just looking at this image, because I did own the previous version of the Masterpiece at one point, to me, it looks like the cape and the shoulder pads are the same as the previous Masterpieces, and the crown looks slightly different. Like it's got, it looks a little thicker, and it's got the red gems on the front and the sides like Starscream did in the movie. But the controversial thing about this, though, is that you have to have bought Skywarp and Thundercracker, the Masterpieces, and it's open for people living in Japan. And you have to cut, there's a little flap in all the boxes for the Masterpiece figures. It's a proof of purchase, and you have to mail them to Takara Tomy before February 28th. And then you'll receive these new coronation parts. So, it's a lot of hoops to jump through, if you want this for Starscream. Like, Starscream's my favorite character, but, after mine unfortunately had QC issues, so I'm not really excited about buying, Thundercracker or Skywarp, and I don't know anyone living in Japan, so I won't be able to get this. So, it's really disappointing. For fans outside of Japan. So, Charles, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is kind of a bummer. I mean, I think given the popularity of Starscream, I would have preferred they just increase the price of the Masterpiece Starscream by, I don't know, 20 or 30, I guess $20 or something, $20 or $30 to include these parts, or make them just a separate, kit you could buy, just put it on the shelves. I mean, it's first of all, yeah, it's only open to Japan. That's one thing, but then you have to buy all three Seeker figures which are, how much was the MP52 Starscream?
He was really expensive. Like, I think it was like $300 if I remember. I probably might be wrong about the price. I'll check.
But I mean, and I imagine the Skywarp and Thundercracker are the same price, right? So that's 3 times that price. And yeah, and it's only valid in Japan. So you got to know somebody in Japan and mail them these little robot point flaps to send them in. I mean, yeah, that's frustrating. I'd say just get the Studio Series Starscream Coronation Starscream at this point, and be happy with that. Unfortunately, that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, like I can't honestly recommend the MP52 Starscream just because like mine had so many QC issues with the knee and the ankles. So, you know, and I know some people who were lucky and they got ones without the QC issues, but you know, it's a lot of money to spend with something that doesn't even work out of the box. But you know, he does look good. You know, he does look tune accurate. Yeah. So, Jeremy, what do you think of this?
This like hits on a bunch of my collector neuroses. I mean, outside of the fact that it's only available to people in Japan, people that are collecting Masterpiece figures, I would say a lot of them are probably like me and reluctant to cut into a box for a figure that's as expensive as this, because we like to keep our boxes. So, you know, if you're going to move or whatever reason you don't want to display a figure, these expensive ones, you want to put them back in the boxes to protect them more than anything else. And I don't think I'm in the minority of people like that. So cutting into a box is just not something that, even if it's a flap that wouldn't be visible, is not something I'd be tempted to do. Like, I don't even, when I get like a Marvel comic with the little digital codes, I don't even pull the thing off because I'm like, that's changing the comic. You know, there's a value. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Anyway, this is just so stupid to me. How much does it cost them to make this coronation kit? Just sell it for, you know, even for cost. But I mean, it probably wouldn't be more than like $50 US in total. I mean, that they would probably make a significant profit. I think they're counting on not a lot of people wanting to go through the trouble of, one, buying all three figures, and two, destroying their box to send this off. And it's dumb and frustrating. And we're going to have a third-party coordination kit for these if there isn't one already. So that's my thought on it.
Yeah, I have a feeling too, agreeing with you that there will be like a third-party kit if there's not one already. Like I'm looking at on this thread, there's a coronation set for the DS Crimson Wings, which is you know, a Masterpiece style like Starscream figure. So Daryl, what are your thoughts about this whole Starscream shenanigans with the coronation outfit?
This is bullshit. That's what it is. This is, I mean, you know, looking at it, you can understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because it's, you know, they want people to buy Thundercracker and Skywarp. You know, Starscream's the most popular, so they're going to sell a lot of Starscreams. But they also want to sell Skywarp and Thundercracker. Well, this kind of a promotion that you're doing is something that you do for figures that are like $30, $50 or something like that. That's, you know, it's not something that's almost $300. You know, that's way too expensive to be pulling this kind of BS. So, you know, maybe don't make your figures $300 and, you know, then you can, you know, add some other stuff to it like this. This is, you know, Charles's suggestion to add $20 to it or $30. You know, that's, you know, the cost of these figures is already through the freaking roof. You know, we knew going into it that Starscream was going to be repainted and re-released at least twice more in Thundercracker and Skywarp. So there's potential to make back any kind of tooling money that they've got with at least 2 more repaints. Now, obviously they know, and we now know that they know that Thundercracker and Skywarp do not sell as well as Starscream, right? So it's pretty obvious, but we now know that they're aware because of this kind of bullshit shenanigans that they're trying to pull, right? You know, this is something that is just you know, it's something that gets pulled all the time with companies that, you know, they're trying to boost sales of lesser selling items. And I don't hold it against them, but for a figure that's $300, come on, that's ridiculous, guys. Like, just figure out an easier way to get this done, because, you know, Charles and Jeremy are right. A third party company is going to come out with this set and it's going to cost like $30 and it's going to look exactly the same. because one person's going to do it and they're just going to rip it off.
Yeah, and I think spending a total of $800 in order to get this before February 28th of this year, that's a lot to ask, of someone, if they wanted to, get a Starscream complete with this coronation kit. Like, it looks like Thundercracker and Skywarp are a little cheaper than Starscream, but if I were to do this, I'd have to shell out $500. Like, I don't even know if it's possible because, like, I'm looking on Big Bad Toy Store site and Skywarp's up for pre-order. It's not even out yet, at least on Big Bad Toy Store. So it's a mess. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for some third-party coronation accessories. And that's all I have this week to share.
All right, well, I'll finish up our main toy topics. We've got a tease of the Studio Series 86 Daniel in an exosuit. So finally, it looks like we're getting a good-looking exosuit figure with Daniel, or not Daniel, Spike. Sorry, Spike, not Daniel. But you can actually see Spike's head in this exosuit, and it looks good. It looks like it transforms. It's the transformation is more than just turning it on its side. It looks like it's actually got some articulation, and it looks like it's going to be a core class size figure and with 11 steps to transform. So it looks like a real transforming figure. So finally, a nice exosuit with Spike in it, and maybe we'll get a Daniel figure at some point down the line too. I think realistically, all you need to do is change the head, and you'd be done here. Daryl, what do you think of this Spike exosuit?
I mean, it fits into this core class Studio Series size that they've invented. So yeah, that's cool. The figure itself, I mean, you see both modes on the back. So the exosuit in like robot mode. Is it a robot? I don't know.
Suit mode.
Suit mode. Okay, in his suit mode, he looks good. It looks good like that. The alt mode, that it looks jank. In alt mode. I mean, yes, there is some kind of transformation there. But I mean, his arms end up on his back. Like, I mean, if you follow it, his arms come off. They're torn off of his body. So, I mean, that's the only problem I see with it, is that his arms are kind of torn away from his body to fit where they are. But I mean, other than that, there's no problem with it. It's, it's perfectly logical.
his human arms are not in the robot arms. His human arms stay in the center piece, because you remember he has to think about what he does before he does it, because he's controlling the arms with some kind of mental brain.
I always assumed his arms were still. I'm going to challenge you on that because I don't think that's how it works.
I think that is how it works.
I thought his arms were inside those, because you see him kind of sliding into Daniel kind of sliding into the thing. And him thinking about what he's got to do before he does it is because each step it's so much work to do. So he has to think about each step before he takes it. That's the way I took it.
Well,
they also made the comment about his dad's exosuit fitting him.
The arms
are kind of slid into the middle.
I mean, if you look at the movie, the arms are pretty far away from his body. It doesn't look. It's not in proportion. If his real arms were in the arms of the exosuit, he'd have gorilla arms.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I'm not arguing that.
So
and
I mean,
being.
My point is that the exosuit can transform without mangling the human body inside, because his arms are not.
I do see there is a screenshot here of him driving the alt mode.
Okay, we need to see this.
And he does have little handles, So he pulls his arms out of the arms of the exosuit to drive it.
Right, because it's a steering wheel. He's got to have a little steering wheel because he has wheels come from nowhere.
So the wheels are in the. Well, yeah.
You're going to keep this thing in suit mode anyway.
Yeah.
You're not going to display this in car mode or whatever, buggy mode, whatever that is.
I need my core class figures to work logically for me,
Yeah.
Charles.
It is logical. The suit can transform because the human stays in the center part of the suit. The arms and legs can bend and fold because the human fits inside the cavity, the chest cavity of the suit.
I mean, I think we need people to comment and write in on this. This has gone beyond
we
us.
need feedback on
this is going back to my 6-year-old self, has created this canon in my head, and it's just built on, this is the foundation of Transformers lore in my head, and you're going to bring the house of cards down right now, Charles, if it is in fact, the way you think. So
you should add this as a question on the toy survey.
Make a poll. Let's make a poll.
But other than that, I'm probably going to pick this up just because it's likely the best suit we've gotten. Even the one out of the Bumblebee, the Masterpiece Bumblebee, is a good, but it's still had its own issues. And then the most recent one was absolute joke. So this is probably the best one we've gotten so far.
Cool. Okay. Well, Apollo, what do you think of this little figure here?
Well, I wasn't sure if I would get it at first, but I am slowly trying to collect the Transformers the movie studio series figures. So I'll probably eventually end up getting it for my movie shelf. It's all right. I think that's the best they could probably do to keep it at this price point, But I actually agree with you. I think his hands do stay inside the suit because otherwise he'd be doing some really extreme body yoga beyond what the human body can do. Yeah, I mean, I think this would look good on anyone's Studio Series 86 shelf. So I'll probably end up picking one up eventually.
You're dead to me, Apollo.
Now I can haunt you like a ghost, like Starscream's ghost.
Oh no, I've made her more powerful than ever.
Yes.
You struck her down and made her more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Mwahaha.
All right, Jeremy, do you want to weigh in on the exosuit debate?
Well, I think I've already established I'm on Daryl's side on this.
Oh no, 2
Yes.
versus 2.
On the arms. Yeah, on the arms thing. But the figure, I think itself looks okay. I do take exception to you saying that the head is good, Charles, because the head is horrible, in my opinion. I mean, they have not... If you look at the actual picture of the toy head, there is no paint. So, still you have no eyes.
I mean, okay, so, what we had before was a blank blue, a blue space with nothing. So
It's an improvement on that. But if you go back to the first Masterpiece Bumblebee one, that one had a head very similar to this.
Okay.
For a company that makes G.I. Joes and many other human toys, why can they not do paint apps on the head?
That's fair. Yeah.
You make all of these detailed paint apps on all of these little Transformers that you're making now, and you cannot do any kind of eyes on this face. That's all you need is just some paint on the eyes, and it'll be fine. The rest of the robot mode is a vast improvement over every exosuit we've gotten. I really like it, especially I can see the shoulders have a pin through the joint, and it's not one of those horrible ball joints that the first one I couldn't manipulate one of the arms without it just popping off. So I'm very appreciative of that. I think that the alt mode looks like ass. It just I don't know, looking at the picture of the screenshot from the movie and this, I'm you got the front kind of right, but the back end there's no wheels. There's no, like, it just, the back end, just, what are you doing there? It just doesn't make sense to me. But, like you said, we're going to be displaying it in the exosuit mode anyway. But I do like that you got the flame bits there. That's I like that. But I'll probably pick it up just because, it is the best exosuit we've gotten. But there's still lots of room to improve.
All right. Well, here, I'm putting a link to the TF Wiki exosuit.
That's where I got that picture I posted.
Well, you can see in those pictures, several pictures where the arms are not, the human arms are not inside the exosuit arms. They just aren't. They aren't there.
The first picture at the top there, his shoulders look like they're pointing right into the arm sockets.
Yeah.
That arm he'd have to have, like I said, he'd have to have gorilla arms to have his.
It could just go down to some control.
I'm not saying that they're going into his hands. They could be just going into that top little part of it.
Yeah. But those joints are so that little joint where the arm is connected. That's so flexible, and that's like a point of failure. You wouldn't want to have your real arm there. That's a place where people would shoot or rip or whatever. If someone grabs his arm to pull it off,
you don't know what it's made of, Charles.
I mean, these are made
adamantium.
And these are made by beings that are used to having their arms ripped off. They don't know how humans work.
That's right.
They assume that, okay, you can just get your arm repaired.
You don't think they learned how humans worked in the 20 years they were on Earth?
No, I mean, they came up with Autobot Spike. They don't know how humans work.
But that was when they were on Earth for 1 year. After 20 years, I think they probably would have learned something. No?
All
right. I think I'm editing this show, so this is taking too much time. Okay. We've got some rapid fire toys before we go to trips to the store.
Ooh.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
Make it rapid, Daryl.
Okay. I'll try my best. All right. And it's been a while since we've had a update from Toy Hacks, and they put out a few of them over the Christmas break, so I figured we'd kind of grab them all and go through them all at once. So up first, we got a bunch of stuff from the main line, and if you were looking for stickers for your Earthrise Quintesson, or your Commander Class Rodimus Prime, or your Kingdom or Netflix Cheetor, or if you got the 2-pack of Kingdom Mirage and Kingdom Grimlock, that's the Grimlock, that's the Beast Wars Grimlock, Shadow Panther, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Fangry, the Netflix Deep Cover, or the Selects G2 Ramjet, or Selects Turtler, then they've got a whole bunch of stickers for you. This is a nice chunk of stickers for stuff from the main line. If you're into Studio Series, they didn't forget you either. They have got Studio Series stuff for number 47 Hightower, 53 Mixmaster, and those are two from the Revenge of the Fallen Devastator. If you're looking for number 72 Starscream, they got a set for you. An interesting one here is for Studio Series 86 Jazz. They did a set to turn them into Shattered Glass. So that's interesting, because I don't think there is a Shattered Glass Jazz available, so you can put them on your Shattered Glass shelf. And why not have a set for Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar? And there's a whole bunch of stickers in there to give them a bunch of 80s references. One sticker set for the Masterpiece line is MP52 Starscream. Gets a nice set of stickers there for it. A couple sets for, it's just some random ones that don't really fit into the main or the Masterpiece line. The Selects Transformers Prime Breakdown and Viacon got a set, so you can grab that entire set and get both stickers for it. And if you bought the collaborative Ultimate Expanse, the X-Men X-Jet, you can get a set here for that and make it a little bit more exuberant. Some kind of X word. Why not?
Extreme.
Yeah, there you go. Extreme, Excalibur, extraordinary. And there's two more to finish off this quick little rapid fire segment. They are for the third party figures. We got X Transbots Pian. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's their hoist figure, and they did a nice set for it, and it looks good. So if you have that figure, you can get a set there. And if you're into Fans Toys and you got their Sheridan, which is their Warpath figure, you can go ahead and pick this up, and it'll make your Warpath from Fans Toys look a little bit better. But yeah, a whole bunch of stuff from Toy Hacks. And for our current or our new winner, Brad, you can take a look at some of this new stuff. So congratulations again to Brad, and can't wait to see what you get stickered up from Toy Hacks.
Cool. Lots of cool stuff to check out there at toyhacks.com. All right, let's move on to Trips to the Store. And this is where we show off all the awesome Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition on our YouTube channel. But we'll put the audio right here in the show so you can keep listening as we describe everything we got in loving detail. But you can also check out that YouTube video to see what we got, because seeing is believing. So without further ado, Trips to the Store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
Okay, well, I've just got one comic this week. Wreckers, Treading Circuits, issue 3. What a coincidence. What we're reviewing this week. So this is the Adam Bryce Thomas cover A. I think this was a really good issue. So we're going to talk about it in Transmissions Alt Mode on Friday. So stay tuned for that. Come back and listen. Listen to the review. And yeah. Also, the issue 4 wrapped up this week, so the whole miniseries should be out, and you can take a look. And what do you think? How does it stack up against all the other Wreckers series that we've had? So, yeah. Okay, Jeremy. Or no, not Jeremy. Daryl,
Oh,
you're
not
up
me.
next.
Hey, don't take this away from me.
And Jeremy's been saving up.
It's force a habit.
I'm going to show off something that I've shown off before, but I figured since Apollo's on, I'll bring this one out of retirement and show it off again. This is my G1 boxed Starscream. It's been opened, but it's still got the Toys R Us sticker on it. The price has been pulled off. It was probably a birthday present or Christmas present or something like that. But it's a Canadian box. You can see down below his French name is Ego, which is perfect for Starscream.
Yeah.
It's a really cool piece to have in my collection. That box art on the back is just beautiful.
No
for anyone, they're on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. So for anyone out there who's wondering whether they have an official or not official, but a legitimate G1 or boxed G1 figure, if it's got French language on it, it's real.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But that's it. That's all I have this week. I have other G1s boxed behind me here. So those are all real official ones. So maybe I'll bring another one of those out if I have nothing to show off.
Do it.
Okay, Apollo, you're up next.
Well, I don't have a ton to show this week, and I actually there's some of the listeners on the podcast. There's like an unofficial gathering on Wednesday nights now. So I know Wolfwood and Quattro and DJ Ronan have seen this already, but I got this in December.
Ooh.
So Transformers the movie Starscream. In his lovely coronation gear at a better price
Didn't
point.
have to do anything. Didn't have to do anything extra.
Yeah, he came with this. He came in the normal price. I didn't have to buy like two other Seekers and mail it off somewhere. So I got that. The other thing I want to show today was really cool. My comic book store said, "Hey, we found this in the back. Do you want this?" So it's an issue, Revolution Transformers. And I think the cover art is by Andrew Griffith, I believe.
Looks like it.
Yeah. So, anyways, a little piece of Transformers IDW history there. So, and it says here it's a one-shot cover RE.
Yeah.
So
The REs are retailer exclusive. So
It's in the bottom corner. Does it say like retail comic book day or something like that?
yeah, it says local comic shop day.
Right. That's something that started recently. So, comic book stores get the opportunity to order. It's basically like free comic book day, only they get the opportunity to order specialty made books that they sell. So, they're not free, but free comic book day is in May. Retail comic book day is in September, I think. And these are nicer books, and they're like re-releases or something like that. And they'll do like foil covers or some other kind of gimmicky thing, and they'll do like really nice stuff. And some of them are end up being worth quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool. That's all I have this week to show.
I love the fact that you guys do this Wednesday evening kind of meetup, and that's fantastic. And there, if anyone else is out there is listening and wanted to get in on that, it's, you don't have to, be part of the Discord, and you can join in on it. It's really, you don't have to be any, super special member or anything. It's not part of the Patreon. It's just, if you want to be on it, you can kind of join the Discord and just kind of, get in on it. It looks, they have a great time. I joined them once and it just kind of, listened to what they were talking about, because they had a blast.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I try to join when I can.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, now to bring us home, Jeremy.
all right. So I lied. I don't have.
No.
I'm kidding. No, I have. I held back some figures from Christmas last week, and these are ones that when my wife was doing Christmas shopping with my son, he was like, "Oh, Daddy likes Dinobots. Get him these. I don't think he has them." So I got 3 Cyberverse Dinobots. First one here is Slag. I think it's really cool. I really like the face. I don't know if it'll focus in on that, but
Cool.
well, the facial expression they have him making is really great. But he's cool. This is a kind of, out of all of them, probably one of the more traditional and simple in terms of transformations. I will say that his little head guard thing popped off as I was pulling him out of the plastic, and it was a pain to snap back on. But other than that, I think it's a really cool figure. He comes with an axe. The next one I have is Sludge. Sludge is the colors are really great, especially on his head. I like that. He has a gimmick where he has a shield that spring loaded and covers. It's like an Energon shield. It looks like a little dino head. So that's fine. He's also a kind of a parts former. The dino head was separate in the box. I snapped him on, but now I can see why it's separate, because it really throws off his balance. And I might not even have snapped it on the right way yet. But also his tail is a separate piece, so he's kind of a parts former a little bit, but he's great. He has this blast effect on his gun. And then the last one is, of course, Grimlock, who tried to transform. I didn't have enough time, and when I looked at the instructions after I was having some problems, it's like a almost 30-step transformation or something. It's crazy.
30?
Here, the instructions going from robot mode to alt mode, 27.
Wow.
Of course, the last step is putting the crown on the T-Rex, but it looks good in robot mode. It's these are very show accurate, and he does have the crown, which it doesn't stay on very well. And here's the dino head has, like, all the dino heads. I think you can open and close the jaw. So I don't know. These are great. I didn't have them. I do have. I have been getting the Studio Series figures, but props to my kid for recognizing I don't have any of the Cyberverse figures. I think these are the first 3 I've gotten. So yeah, these are great for Christmas presents. And then I got some comics. I have 11 comics to go through. So we'll start with the main Transformers series. I got issues 37 and 38. 37 is the Aline Hertzpalter Baumgartner cover. And then 38 is the Alex Milne cover. Wreckers, Shreds, and Circuits, the same one that Charles had, Adam Bryce Thomas. Beast Wars 10 and 11. Beast Wars 10 is Anna Malkova. Really nice looking cover there. And then 11 is Sid Van Blue. And then King Grimlock number 4. This is Dave Wilkins. I think this is the one that Daryl really liked when we reviewed it. And on paper, it looks really. And then Shattered Glass, I got issues 4 and 5, but with Shattered Glass, I'm picking up the retailer incentive covers too. So they're the Sarah Petrie Durocher, and then the Alex Milne issue 5. Sarah's always they look kind of like magazine, like teen magazine pinup type images of all these characters. Very I don't know, just the expressions and stuff. They all look a little bit like prettier than the characters normally are. And then you get the Alex Milne, it's the gritty, and then let's see, one more. This is the Best of Optimus Prime. This is the James Biggie cover. We talked about the Megatron one on the show last week, and I forgot that this was coming out. My shop I told them anything Transformers, and he said that they threw this into everyone that had Transformers in their books or in their pull lists. This has Chaos Theory Part 2, Autocracy number 9. This is Transformation from the Transformers Autocracy number 9. Orion Pax Freefall from Transformers number 6. Optimus Prime 25. And the Transformers number 6 was from the new 2019 version. And then After Death from the Transformers number 24 from 1984. So this is, the paper quality on this is really good. I think for $7, it was a good deal. You're getting, a lot of content for $7. Nice thick book. So maybe the Chaos Theory stuff will line up with the Megatron book. So you get both sides of the same story.
It's funny you're getting part 2 first, and then part 1 is with the Megatron book. Yeah.
But I imagine I'm going to be getting that one too. So it's everything I got. Probably one of the most expensive trips to the store I've had in a while.
I didn't realize that book was out so soon. I thought it wasn't coming until next month.
Yeah, I know. It came out last week. So maybe check your store. I think it is kind of odd looking at the the 80s comic on this new shiny paper. I think that anything printed in the 80s needs to be on newsprint. Just the paper, the printing process and stuff was.
Well, that'll do it for this week's Trips to the Store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
We're back from our trips to the store, and we'll finish up the show with convention news.
In convention news this week, starting out with a rumor, Hasbro, we had previously said that they had announced that they were going to be at New York Toy Fair next month, but the rumor going around is due to the ongoing never-ending pandemic, the Omicron, all that stuff. The rumor is that they are not going to be there. They have not yet made a statement. We'll have to see. But I would be willing to bet this is true. I think a lot of things are going to be shutting down again. And Toy Fair, in the Javits Center, it'll be a lot of people, even if it's not as many as they expected. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, I would bet this rumor is probably going to be true. But hopefully in October, things will be on better footing because TFCon Chicago, which will be October 21st through 23rd, has their hotel block online now. It will be at the Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel and Conference Center. And you can reserve your rooms through the link on the TFCon website. If you call, just say you want the TFCon rate, which is group code T4C. And I think we've been at this hotel before when we went to TFCon Chicago. I think it's a nice hotel. I am really hoping that things are in better shape because this is a convention that I can easily go to. So looking forward to this. And Also, speaking of conventions that I can easily go to, DairyCon 2022 has been announced. And no one else likes me talking about DairyCon, but I'm talking about DairyCon. It is April 8th and 9th at the Cow Palace in Fond du Lac County Fairgrounds in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Pre-registration is open. They also have walk-ins, and they have an exclusive that they have revealed on Facebook. This is the Minibot Armor 3 that they've created. This will be available for everyone that everyone that signs up and pre-registers will get this. And if you aren't familiar with DairyCon, the cow puns are abundant. All of their convention exclusives are like they're like custom figures. They're not very expensive looking figures. They're custom. They're always mini bots, but they're all cow themed, and it's all always great. So if you're in the Wisconsin or the Midwest area, check this out. And I am likely to go up for the day for this and check it out. So that is everything for convention news this week.
And that takes us to the end of this episode of Transmissions. Apollo, thanks again for joining us this week. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find your awesome work online?
Hi. Well, thanks for having me on. I always enjoy talking Transformers with you guys. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RoboApollo. I post art on there. I did take a break during the holidays just because I needed a break from making so much art. But sometimes I do open commissions, so I do post about that on there. I'm also fairly active in the Transmissions Discord server, and mentioned on the show earlier tonight, there's these casual Wednesday meetups in the Transceivers channel, and sometimes I'll join in there as well. So looking forward to talking Transformers with everyone.
All right. And at the end of every show, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. Thank you again to our Masterpiece Donatrons who continue to support the show at our highest level. So we really appreciate them, and that's why we give them a shout out in every episode. So thank you again to John 4X Levengood, Dinobot Maximize, Demon Tech 82, and Curtis Akan. And of course, we've still got merchandise on our Transmissions TeePublic store, so you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop, and you can buy some of our merchandise, shirts, mugs, masks, lots of stuff that you can get Transmissions logos on. Of course, you buy anything from TeePublic through that link, that also will help out the show. So a good way to support us, transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And that's it for this week's episode of Transmissions. Thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool Transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our Transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.